The smoker. This is going to be one of the most important tools you're going to need as a beekeeper. Now let me explain why this is going to be one of the most important tools. Honeybees communicate with pheromones. One of these pheromones is an alarm pheromone. They use this pheromone when they feel threatened. So, when the beekeeper goes to open the hive, when the bees feel threatened, they're going to release this pheromone within the hive and cause them to attack. Well, if the beekeeper has a smoker, he's going to apply a couple puffs of smoke in the entrance of the hive, and he's going to let that work up through the hive. And that's going to cover these pheromones. Well, what you're going to notice once you get in the hive is that the bees have their heads buried deep within the cells of the honeycomb, and they are eating. They believe that the hive is on fire. So in their mind, they're going to take as much honey that they can with them when they go to pour out of that hive due to this fire. So as the beekeeper, what you want to practice is not over smoking and figure out just how much it takes. And that's going to take a little bit of practice and getting to know the temperament of your bees. So you can see why this is a very important tool. When you go to buy your bee equipment, this is one tool I would not get cheap on. Buy yourself a good one and it'll last. Now I've got several tips, and I'll leave them at the end of this video on how to light your smoker, how to put your smoker out. These are very beneficial videos to a new beekeeper. So take time and enjoy them. So now we'll move on. The next thing you're going to need is a hive tool. This is a very basic hive tool. This is the very first hive tool I bought, and I use the heck out of it still today. Both ends are sharp on both ends, and it's good to keep them sharp. If it's going to be dull, you might as well just have a flat piece of steel. It also has a place here in the middle where you can remove nails, finish nails. So that's a very nice hive tool. Comes in very handy when the bees start to build up propolis and glue everything together. You'll use your hive tool to break the boxes apart, to pull the frames apart, because there's so much propolis between the frames you can't get them to move. Something you're definitely going to need. Now there's several different styles of hive tools on the market today. Here's one other. You'll notice it's longer, just by a little bit. You'll also notice this weird hook on the end. And how this works is I'm able to take this hook down in between the frames, and by lifting the handle on the hive tool, it pulls the frame up and out. So I'm able to pull it up out. It works out really good. It's a nice hive tool. Now, if I was to make recommendations on which hive tool to buy first, I would still stick with the standard hive tool. That's a good hive tool to start with. But I have noticed when I take this one only with me to the bee yard, I still wish I had this one. But now that I have them both, it goes either direction on that. So it's kind of weird how that works. Good hive tools though. You're going to need a good hive tool. Don't chintz there. You don't want something that's going to bend. Okay, moving on. The bee brush. When I first started keeping bees, I had an old drafting brush left from school. Looked very similar to this, and I thought, well, I'm not going to buy a bee brush, I'll just use this. Well, then I started doing removals and different things with my cousin, and I got to see his brush, and I got to feel the difference, and I could not believe how much of a difference there was. With my drafting brush, whenever I would sweep the bees, they would get caught in the bristles, and they would be angry when they came out of there. With my cousin's brush, which is identical to this brush now that I've updated, I've noticed that when he swept the bees never got stuck in here, or if they did, it was very rare. It mostly just scooted them out of the way. And then you gotta learn the proper sweeping motion too. You want to do flicks like that. You don't want to go sweeping like you're sweeping the floor and just go nuts. You're going to really piss off the bees, and that's not a good way to get started. So get you a good brush, and make sure you buy an actual bee brush. Don't resort to thinking a drafting brush will work, because I'm telling you, they're not the same. Totally different bristles. So I hope these 4 videos have helped break down some of the very basics on beekeeping. If there's anything else you would like help with, or that I could answer for you, you could leave a comment below, or you can go to my channel click on the About tab, and then if you scroll down about halfway, you'll see a code where you can put in a code and it'll give you my email address, and you can email me and we can communicate that way. I'd be glad to give you any pointers or answer any questions. If I don't know it, I can point you to somebody that does, most likely. So thanks for watching. JC's Bees.